After 3 stays at the Dolphin, I'm here to warn you, some of you should not stay here. On this episode of Stay Tours, I'll share our 3rd stay at the Dolphin. Our first stay was the day after Hurricane Milton, October 2024. Our second stay was over Thanksgiving 2024, and this trip we stayed for an October 2025 extended weekend during EPCOT's Food and Wine Festival. Because we're annual pass holders, we had a discount to stay at the Dolphin. I'll include a link in the description to their offers page. This location can't be beat. If you watch our other 2 stay tours here, location is the #1 reason to stay at the Dolphin. During our first stay after Hurricane Milton, our room was in the Pyramid. It smelled mildewy and felt musty, and we questioned whether we'd ever stay here again. Our second stay was as a family, and 2 double beds did not cut it. But after staying here twice, this 3rd stay, I think we finally figured out how to do it. Don't stay here unless you can adjust your expectations. The guest room areas have not been updated for more than a minute. The hallways have liminal lighting and the carpet is faded and worn. And if you go into your stay expecting this, perhaps that will help. It's about mindset here. We were pleasantly surprised to see that our room this time was in one of those arm hallways, so to speak, rather than the Pyramid. And I think that really helped the quality of the room. These rooms are pretty basic. There's not a lot of furniture taking up unnecessary space. This time we were on the 9th floor, and we didn't realize until we went out to the balcony that the 9th floor is actually the top floor of these arm hallways. The room had super high ceilings, which instantly made it feel open and airy. And when we took a peek out to the balcony, we realized we were in the 3rd arm over as far as proximity to the Disney resorts, yacht, beach, and boardwalk. You can see the 4th arm hallway to the left of the screen. We had an amazing resort view, and being on the top 9th floor, that balcony felt a little scary to me, but I loved being able to see the boardwalk, have soaring ceilings in the room, and honestly, this was the nicest of our 3 stays. Now, what's kind of hilarious here is this trip was just my husband and me, but we got a room with 2 double beds. We'd already decided that we each were going to sleep in our own bed because let me tell you, trying to sleep in a double bed when you're not used to that, it's not spacious enough for us. So we knew going into it, we would sleep separately. The bedding was really nice. Some pillows were feather pillows, some had fiber fill, so we had a lot of options to customize, especially with each of us having a pile of our own pillows on our separate beds. The duvet was weighty and heavy, which I prefer. The mattress was firm and the topper was soft, so it was a pleasant night's sleep here. If only we'd been in that 4th arm over, the closest to the Disney resorts, we would have had a view looking at Spaceship Earth and the luminous fireworks. We did have that view from windows, no balcony, during our split stay for Thanksgiving in 2024. Every other room has a balcony and the ones in between only have a window. If you want to see more detailed room tours, the other 2 Dolphin stay tours go in a lot more detail, so check them out. Why do we put up with compromises on a Disney vacation, staying someplace that has liminal lighting, old carpet, and potentially musty rooms? Mainly because we have deluxe Disney resort perks at a fraction of the cost at a prime location. Our room before taxes and fees was around $200 a night, and we could walk to and from the EPCOT Food and Wine Festival and Hollywood Studios whenever we wanted. For us, a quick weekend getaway, it was totally worth staying at the Dolphin. On this particular trip, we got to experience the new test track for the very first time, EPCOT edutainment at its finest. I loved it. This was our 4th food and wine. Some of my favorites this time were a trout dish as well as a butternut squash soup. We were fortunate to have our first day completely cloudy with a high of 77 degrees. We were coming in from Austin where it was still 95, so we had goosebumps and we were not mad about it. We enjoyed a sit-down meal at Via Napoli, which is a must-do for us every single trip, and then hopped over to Hollywood to see some new construction, basically, at this point. We hadn't seen the Starlight Parade at Magic Kingdom, so we made our way over there by bus. It was a lovely way to end our first evening. On day 2 of Epcot Food and Wine, we had lots of desserts for breakfast to start our day. Can I say the cast members at the food booths and restaurants this trip were the friendliest and most attentive ever. We had so many great conversations and interactions with cast members this trip. Our next mission was to get ourselves over to Regal Eagle Smokehouse to snag same-day Eat to the Beat concert series quick service dining packages. Some things you should know: I showed up at Regal Eagle at 11 a.m. and they didn't open till 11:45. When I walked in, a cast member kindly shooed me away and said they couldn't tell me about availability until they opened at 11:45. At 11:30, I had a hunch to stop back, and fortunately, following my gut was the right move. There were probably a dozen people already in line ahead of us. When they say it's limited availability, they really mean it. Some days there might be no availability at all. The manager who took care of us let us know that he learned about the same-day ticket availability between 30 to 45 minutes ahead of opening. Even though I had stopped earlier, I did not encounter him. It was another cast member who kind of shooed me away. Fortunately for us, at 11:30, there were still 2 shows with availability, 5:30 p.m. and 8 p.m., and we chose 5:30. The family immediately after us only had one choice of showtime, 8 p.m., so we were literally the last family who had a choice for which show we wanted to attend. A side note, we were going to choose 6:45 p.m., but there was no availability for this showtime through Regal Eagle that day. With your meal, you get a quick service entree, a side, a dessert, and a drink. We didn't realize this could include alcohol, but we needed caffeine more. Even though the restaurant opened at 11:45, by noon, the same-day Eat to the Beat options were completely sold out, and I'm not even sure exactly how many tickets they had. When they say limited availability, they truly mean it. Be more of a pest than I was. At 11 a.m., I was told to come back at 11:45, but had the sense to check back even earlier, and the manager who took care of us said, when I initially showed up at 11 is exactly when I should have come. Apparently, I just didn't speak to a helpful cast member. Looking online, there are no details on how to do this on the day of. Walk in, be annoying, get your answers. One more tip. I feel like no one warned you that when you do the same-day walk-up at Regal Eagle for any Eat to the Beat package, you must order the food and eat immediately, or order it and take to-go boxes if you weren't expecting to eat immediately. But you don't get to come back later. It is quick service and you have to order your food right away. Then when we got to the concert, we stood in line with the other folks that had Eat to the Beat stickers because we had all eaten somewhere with that as a perk. As cast members guided us into the theater, they were directing us to go to specific seat areas. We did not want to be right in front of all the speakers and amps, so when we tried to sit somewhere else, the cast members were kind of waving us along like they didn't want us to. There were seats a little further back in the center that were all roped off, and nobody was being very clear about who those roped off areas were for. Were they for us? The whole thing was confusing, so we did end up just sitting behind those roped off seats in the dead center, which is pretty much exactly what we wanted, but we could have sat, I think, several rows closer within those roped areas. It seemed like they wanted to save those for people that showed up later with Eat to the Beat stickers, so showing up early seems to guarantee you really close-up seats, and if you don't do that, cast members look at you strangely and really don't communicate. We enjoyed the concert, and of course, attractions and more food before and after it, closing the park down with luminous fireworks. One more morning of our stay at the Dolphin, it was awesome to watch the sunrise from our 9th floor balcony. Our flight out was at 11:30 a.m., and being annual pass holders, we had enough time to take advantage of Deluxe Resort early entry to Epcot one more time. We had no intention of riding anything, we just wanted to get a couple miles in around the World Showcase. We were the first in line to grab coffee at Joffrey's, cookie butter cold brew for me. We ran into some cast members with brooms, and it was fun to walk a completely empty World Showcase with these 2 guys. One of them surprised me by handing me this leaf as they departed. Our next priority was to visit the Norway Bakery to get one more school bread. A manager popped his head out the front door. I asked, "Are you open yet?" He said, "We would like to open, but we need some help. We need someone to open the bakery. Would you be willing to open the bakery this morning?" I said, "Of course, are you kidding?" All these cast members suddenly stood in a line and they hand me a bell and tell me I need to ring it 3 times, and then we all announced, "The bakery is now open." I had no idea this was a thing. It was such a lovely surprise. Classic Disney. Being gifted a leaf with a Mickey punched out of it and ringing a bell to open a bakery cost $0 and yet brought me so much joy. Even though we were only in Epcot for a couple hours before catching our flight, I felt like I'd had plenty of Disney magic. So I hope this little video helps you decide if you want to stay stay at the Dolphin, y'all. It's a great location, but you may have to adjust your expectations and sleeping arrangements to have an enjoyable stay. This is not an updated Disney Deluxe Resort, at least as of October 2025. But for the price and location, I think it's totally worth a stay, at least a short stay. So try to get a room in the arm closest to the yacht club if you can. Try to get to the top 9th floor. Try to get a balcony and be prepared for potentially double beds. I wouldn't stay here as a family. I would only stay here as a couple. Whether you luck out and get a king bed or 2 double beds, these rooms are better for 2 guests than a family stay. Thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe so you can see even more of our stays, and please go back and watch those other Dolphin videos if you're thinking about staying at this resort to see more detail, or watch stay tours of the Swan and Swan Reserve too. I guess I gotta go home now.